Decimal places. So rounding with decimal places is actually easier than with significant figures, because all we need to do is go to that number of decimal places, draw our dashed line, and then see whether we need to round up or down. So if we had 5.432, then we know this 4 is the first decimal place, the 3 is the second, and the 2 is the third. So whenever we're rounding, then if we're rounding to one decimal place, we'll look at between the 4 and the 3. If we're looking at between the 3 and the 2, or looking to two decimal places, we'll look between the 3 and the 2. Or if we were looking to 0 decimal places, or to the nearest integer or the nearest whole number, then we'd be just looking between the 5 and the 4. The thing as well is that in our answer we must show the same number of decimal places. So if we were shown to two decimal places, then we'd have to make sure that there were 2 after the point, and that would mean adding in zeros at an occasion. So example 1, write 64.234526 to 2 decimal places. What we have, the second decimal place is the 3, so we're going to look between the 3 and the 4. The 4 is less than 5, so our rules for rounding are that we round down. So 64.23456 is going to be rounded down to 64.23. Example 2, 64.234526 to 3 decimal places. The 4 is the third decimal place, so we're going to look at the 5. The rules for rounding, 5 and above we round up. So then the 4 is going to change to 5. So 64.234526 rounds to 64.235. And what we can see that there are 3 decimal places in our answer. Example 3, 124.7427 to 1 decimal place. So the 7 is the first decimal place. So we're going to look at the second, which is a 4. The rules for rounding, 4 is less than 5, so we're going to round down. So that will change 124.7427 to 124.7. Again, we've got 1 decimal place in our answer, which is what was required in the question. Example 4 should read, write 12.087 correct to 2 decimal places. So it might say 3 in your notes, but it should be 2. So what we do is we look at the second decimal place, which is the 8. We draw our line, and 7 means we'll round up. So 12.087 is going to be rounded up to 12.09. Just one more. If we had 12.0345 and we wanted to round that to 1 decimal place, then we look at the first decimal point, which is the 0. We draw our line after that. 3 means we round down, so that would get rounded down to 12.0. Now, the 0 doesn't actually really change the value of the 12, but because we've been asked to round to 1 decimal place, we must include the 0. What we can also do then is use our estimations, so whether it's significant figures or decimal places, and we can use those in calculations. Normally, whenever we're doing these, because it's an estimation, it's much easier to just go to one significant figure rather than being any more accurate. So round to one significant figure and then find the approximation. So in example A, we've got 7.1421 squared. If we round that to one significant figure, so we need to look between the first and the second significant figure. The 1 means we'll round down, so 7.1421 will round to 7, and then we're squaring that, and that works out to be 49. Part B, the first significant figure, so the first non-zero number is the 8. The next significant figure is the 0. That means we'll round down, and we'll get 0.008. Remember, we don't need any zeros after the 8 because it doesn't change the place value. And we're going to divide that. So 2.141 after the 2 and the 1. 1 means we'll round down, so we're going to divide by 2 to get 0.004. Example C, 24 times 38 divided by 7.92. So again, we're looking to these to one significant figure. So we do look at between the 2 and the 4. We'll look between the 3 and the 8. And we'll also look between the 7 and the 9. So the 4 means we're going to round down. The 8, again, means we'll round up. And the 9 means we'll round up. So what this will turn into is 20 multiplied by 40 divided by 8. 20 multiplied by 40, so 2 times 4 is 8, and then we'll have 2 zeros after that, over 8, and that simplifies to 100. Example D, 18.3, so 1 is the first significant figure, 8's the next, 8 means we'll round up. 4.732, we'll look at the 7, and again it means round up. And 0.481, the 4 is the first significant figure, 8 means we'll round up. So we've got 20 multiplied by 5 divided by 0.5. 20 multiplied by 5 is 100 divided by 0.5. Now, this is saying 100 divided by 0.5. Another way to consider it is that it's a fraction. And we don't really like fractions that have decimals involved. So what we can do is we can multiply the top and the bottom by 10 so that it removes the decimal. And 100 multiplied by 10 is 1,000. 0.5 divided by 10 is 5. 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. Example E, 2.45. So we'll look between the 2 and the 4. 4 means we'll round down. The 10 will look between the 1 and the 0. The 0 means we'll round down. And 9.87, the 8 means we'll round up. So 2.45 is going to round to 2. And it's being divided by 10.13. So that's 10. 9.87, so 9.8, the 8's rounded up. That's going to change the 9 into 10. So what we've got, it looks like 2 divided by 10 take away 10, which is 2 divided by 0. Now there's one thing that we can't do in maths, and that's divide by 0. So that means our estimation's wrong. So we need to go back and estimate 2 significant figures on the bottom. So the numerator's fine, but we just need to sort out the denominator. So we need to go to 2 significant figures. So we'll look between the 10 and the 1, and between the 8 and the 7. So the 1 means we'll round down, 7 means we'll round up. So what we've got then is 2, still 2 on the top. We've got 10, take away 9.9. So that's 2 divided by 0.1. Again, we don't like a decimal and a fraction, so we can multiply top and bottom by 10 to get 20 over 1, which is 20. And then example F. So we'll look to round each number to one significant figure first of all. So we'll look between the 2 and the 1, and that means we'll round down. The 3 and the 0, again that'll mean round down. 3 and the 9 means we'll round up. 9.9, so the second 9 means we'll round up. The 9 is the first significant figure in 0.981. So we're going to look between the 9 and the 8 means we'll round up. So what we've got then is bracket 2 multiplied by 3, close my bracket, take away 4, so 3.9 rounds up to 4. Divided by 9.9, the 9 means we round up to a 10, multiplied by 1. So the 0.98, the 8 means the 9 will round up, and that will round to 1. So brackets first, 2 times 3 is 6, take away 4 over 10, which is 2 over 10, which is either 0.2 or a fifth.